be patient. Make sure you're doing it right. Make sure you know what you're doing. I would like to be able to give people their own company, whether through a distributorship or a franchise. Have that fire in your belly, go after it.
Welcome back to Bourbon with the Bluegrass Babes, and today we have a very special guest. We have Candle Chris here with us. Candle Chris is the CEO of UCandle, and Chris actually brought us this bottle of bourbon that came with a really fun story. Why don't you tell us about it?
So, E.J. Curley's been my favorite sipper here lately. It's springtime, so you want something a little bit sweeter than some of your normal stuff. So E.J. Curley was the master distiller and owner of the Bluegrass Distilling Company, Knoll Creek, back in 1864, I want to say, if I'm correct. And he actually immigrated here from Ireland, moved to Jessamine County area, started working with the Union Army during the Civil War at Camp Nelson. And he actually was in charge of all the food and provisions for the army. So he was getting a whole lot of barley, rye, vanilla, all the good stuff. And next thing you know, he started making his own bourbon, and everybody loved it so much that he was responsible for over 90% of bourbon production in 1902 for Kentucky. Guy didn't have a wife or kids. He ended up making his money, decided to cash out, moved to Paris, France, and the owner of the company, president, I want to say, Matthew, I had the pleasure of meeting him a couple months ago, and he actually found one of the bottles, I do believe, and had it remastered from the original recipe that E.J. Curley had used. And yeah, it was bang, he found a winner.
I love it. I love it. We're actually going to take a shot. I don't think we've ever done a bourbon.
I don't think we've ever done this on camera.
No.
We're going to take a shot of the Curley.
Tim's coming.
Come on, Tim.
Tim has requested that we chase it with Twizzlers.
It's a great idea. It'll pair perfectly.
All right, not to
Make that look
John,
nonchalant.
All right. Shots.
Twizzler for you. Twizzler. Twizzler. We're not chasing with it with wine.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. Cheers to.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wait, what was his name again? E.J. Curley.
E.J. Curley.
E.J. Curley. Thank you, E.J.
Getting some of that Kentucky hug, huh?
Twizzler helps. Curley was a very strong individual to be
He was.
sipping on that.
I love that the bottle says Camp Nelson though. And
It is. I mean, it is pretty smooth. I mean, there's tropical fruits there. It's
Tropical.
It's tasty.
She's like, I didn't taste pineapple.
from the pepper. Would you like
pepper.
some wine?
That was a good.
It's really good on ice, so opens it up.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, I never really did a shot of it. I usually just sip
Sip it. Bourbon's a sipper, so that's on us.
Bourbon people do sip.
Yeah,
Yes.
just,
Bourbon with the Bluegrass Babes. When we say bourbon, we mean shot.
Shot of wine. Shot of bourbon.
Shot of whatever. It's just a shot.
Lime, bottle of bourbon.
Okay, but I do have to ask, how did you like the Twizzler?
I actually thought it was perfect.
It kind of goes with it,
I'm
doesn't
really
it?
happy that you all suggested that.
It's so random.
Try
Well, Tim actually recommended it last time when we did a bourbon shot, and we were just joking with it, and then we did it, and I was like, actually, that's kind of,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
So the only the only bourbon tasting that I've been to, they actually gave out Ghirardelli squares.
Cool.
Ooh, yeah.
To coordinate with
yeah.
different Ghirardelli
Pair.
squares with the different
Ooh.
kinds of bourbon, and it was a really nice match. So I don't know, maybe there's something to do with the sugar, or I don't know.
Maybe it's because bourbon, it always has those acts in it, of that sweet, or not always, but a lot of them has that sweet background, so maybe that helps pull it out,
Yeah.
maybe, you know what I mean?
Say I did not taste anything.
She's like,
I'm sorry.
you have a very fine palate.
I tried to bring a sweet one. I'm so sorry.
You did a great job, Chris.
Okay,
Don't let her bring you down.
Tim's back there. I think he's about to pass.
All right, Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got started?
So, joined the Marines out of high school, did that for 4 years, realized that it wasn't for me. Decided to get out. That's when I started bartending, and I tried a few other different industries, and I realized those weren't for me either. And I've always had bartending to fall back on. I'm pretty good at talking to people sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Sometimes
We found
most of
that
the time.
out. Marks and Mugs bartender.
Yeah, well, and next thing you know, I was like, I'm about to buy a food cart. Artisan hot dogs, here I come. And then I said, you know what? I'm thinking candles instead.
I'm baking candles. Okay.
So a little over a year ago, probably about a year and 3 months now, I started just dabbling around with candles and working on the math of it all and the ratios and timing. And yeah, there's like a whole science to it, which blew my freaking mind, to be honest. I was like, it should just be wax and fragrance and bam. And it's not. And I started off with like glass containers and tins, and then I was like, you know what? I just really kind of want to make it myself because it just seemed better to me to know that I know where it's coming from and I'm not doing all weird stuff, because that was at the time when like all the shipping delays in China were going on, and it's like, you know, if I could just be responsible for the product. So next thing you know, figured out how to make containers out of like a fine powdered concrete mix. And that's when me and my business partner decided to really just stick with it and see what we can do. We've been growing slowly, and we actually haven't done a lot of stuff online yet because we've been trying to make sure our production levels are proper, because we want to make sure that we're making our company equitable for anybody that wants to come work for us or anything like that. And currently, I'm going to like be able to pay people like $40 an hour to help me. I just got to get the sales going.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pay people like $1 a container to seal them, and you can do them in like a couple hours. So I'll be able to give people like jobs that they can do at their own house, help me, help them, be equitable for everybody. So I'm pretty excited
That's
about that.
awesome.
And I wanna like rewash my model and like spread it out to, there's over 400 cities in the United States with over 1 million people. And if I can find a bartender in each city and be like, hey, you're a hustler, like, let me give you the startup costs, let me show you how to do it. And then they just re-mimic the process on their own time. That's how I plan on scaling, instead of being like, I'll pay you $12 an hour.
Yes. Yeah.
So it might give other people a chance to do something for themselves. Keep your hands busy, stay out of trouble, which is important to me. And
So how did you end up, out of all the things, how did you end up with candles?
It's got to be the alliteration with the name.
The Candle Chris?
Candle Chris.
Well, I've started making soaps as well, and aroma beads,
Oh my
and
gosh.
lotions and whatnot. I'm just not at the point to where I can really market those or like provide that to anybody.
But like, what was your inspiration? Like, did somebody in your family?
Independence.
Yeah.
Just independence. I was like, I've worked for a lot of people. I've gone out on ventures. I sold customizable socks at one point, and I was just like, you know what? Let's just not do that.
Let's just not be doing that.
Just wasn't for me. And
I love the courage though.
Yeah, and you had that entrepreneurial spirit.
when I was in high school, I like worked at Sam's Club, and I'd go and buy like a 30-pack thing of candy for $12.84, sell each one for $1, and then turn around and make $16 a profit. And then I'd like leave school to go to my job. So I was like, wow, I'm losing out on so much money. Hey, how about we split the profits while I'm not here? I had like 5 people running candy at school, and I'd be like, here's the deal, here's how you do it. You do it before class and after class, not in the middle. And then when you first show up, you look at the teacher and you say, what do you want, teach? And just an open bag of candy. They take candy, it's all good, everything's fine. Yeah, I mean, it worked. It was a great little hustle for me in high school.
So this is a question we ask a lot, actually. Do you think you are born with the entrepreneur brain, or is that something you witnessed growing up?
Nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
I like puzzles, I guess, is really what it is. So I guess that would be, I mean, I don't, that's tough.
He's like, I was born this way.
I mean, I guess I've been this way for a while now, just trying to figure out what's my angle? How do I apply leverage here? Like, what is it?
Well, it's funny. So my past life before I got into mortgage lending was bartending.
Cool.
That's like how I made it through college. I did it up until January of this year. I finally kind of let it go. I was like, there's a lot going on. I can't bartend every Saturday. Loved it though. But in the industry, there's a lot of people like yourself. So I think the whole like shooting for different cities and finding bartenders is golden.
There's a whole bunch of hustlers out
There
there.
is. Most bartenders are hustlers. Like they're entrepreneurs who are just like in there to get their money, get out, and figure out what they're going to do with that money type thing. You know what I mean?
Because
Yeah,
it's such
exactly.
a great use of your time, and I feel like a lot of people see like
You meet so
okay,
many people.
not to like yes, you meet so many people, and not just that, but like I feel like there's excellent money in it, you know. And like as my father would say, he would not approve of me saying this on camera, but he has always told me like we're all time prostitutes, okay? Like if you want to be serious about it, like we're all time prostitutes, and we are giving out to the highest bidder. And I feel like entrepreneurship can come with so many other benefits though as well. So I feel like you're definitely getting the best of both worlds.
Yes.
Well, heck yeah. So
Yeah. I think it's a smart move. I think it's very, very cool. And yeah, I think like the market that you're trying to target it's spot on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm more impressed that you are wanting to give people a
Yes.
livable wage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have
Shocking.
to at this point.
Shocking.
Thanks.
I mean, but
Things have to
unfortunately,
change.
that's not the norm.
No.
There's corporations that don't even do that.
Oh, I know plenty.
Well, you just got to set a good foundation
Yes.
and then go from there. And I think that's probably been why I haven't grown as much as I would like to, is just because I'm like, be patient, make sure you're doing it right, make sure you know what you're doing. And we'll see what happens. Like, I have ideas for some creative content marketing and stuff that I'm about to be launching. One of the campaigns is Candles for Countries. The first person from every country that reaches out to me and will agree to take a picture, I'll send them a candle for free.
Oh, love it.
I'm already in like Hungary, Holland. I have a candle headed to Somalia. I have a candle headed to France right now. So
That
like,
is so neat.
Very cool.
nobody in the Guinness Book of World Records is giving a candle out to everybody yet. So I was like, hey, this looks like something cool to put on the bucket list. You
Yeah.
know? Like, why not?
I love it.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name?
Candles for Countries?
Candles
Or UCandle?
UCandle.
I don't know. It was between the soy sage and UCandle. And then one of my friends said, when you say soy sage really fast, it sounds like sausage.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my
I can see
gosh.
that.
With an accent.
Can't do that. Can't do that. I don't know. Just try to inspire people with a little bit of light, because it's you create, you design, you can. You know what
Oh,
I'm
I
saying?
love that.
Which is
I love
why
that.
the logo.
Yes, so
you know
one
what I
of
mean?
my
Because
favorite
it's about
parts
you.
about this candle, Tim, is the fact that he is able to personalize it. So we actually have a candle with our logo.
So cute.
And I think that is so neat. And I also didn't know that you had a business partner that created
Her name's Madeline. She's great. She's
Heck
actually
yeah, shout out to
working on the
Madeline.
Etsy today to make sure that if anything comes from this, we have somewhere to send people. So she's just been going to town, and I appreciate her so much.
So she creates the bowl, essentially.
So we both kind of do a little bit of all of it, but my main area of focus is the candle and the container. She's more of the social media, emails, logos, and there's a warning label at the bottom of them. I'm not as tech savvy as I would like to be, so
I feel that.
I feel that.
I can work so.
Kayla is our
both of us put our
tech.
hand
Yeah,
out
yeah.
immediately. Was like, this is.
Thank God.
And Tim. And Tim.
Yeah, thank God for Tim.
Yeah, I
You just
literally.
build your
It's not
tribe.
us.
I can barely
It's
send
not
an
us.
email. So,
I've got the emails down pat. I've got the emails down pat, but like
everything
Canva, Etsy, all of that,
Yeah.
that would be not me.
yeah,
That
it's
would
not my
be mine.
area.
Yeah.
You know, I know my lane, and I'm going to just try to stick in it.
You do well in your lane.
I can make containers and candles and do math. Like that's what I'm good at.
That's what I can do.
I'm gonna stay there.
Honestly, that's three things more than me.
Calculus. Chris.
Making candles and math. You're already doing it.
Lee's like, I got the wine, check.
I got the one. And the candle. I can burn the candle.
Oh,
We can drink the bourbon.
And I can drink the bourbon. No, I think that's great. And I feel like
Sometimes.
there's so much potential like in this because it is such great marketing.
yeah, and like the candle industry is like a 3.3 billion dollar industry, and it's about to grow to like 5.4, I think, in the next couple of years. So that's going to be a really big window for somebody to just kind of jump in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something that's a little bit different than my candles. There's all sorts of debates and thoughts on fragrance oils and wax and what do they emit. I use 100% all natural soy wax, which is not a byproduct of crude oil.
Nice.
And
Okay.
that means that the candles don't emit benzene and formaldehyde. So those are known carcinogens, and so that candle's like clean. And the fragrances that I use are a essential oil fragrance oil blend, because too much of anything is actually bad.
Yes.
So some people's skins are sensitive to the fragrance, some people's skins are sensitive to the oils, and it's like, you know, maybe let's figure out the cleanest version. So I use non-phthalated fragrance oil. And
I
essential
love
oils,
that.
And it's
so-
safe for your pets, it's
Yes.
safe for your kids, it's safe for you.
So
As far as the research.
I'm
Is there
a
formaldehyde
big
in
yes.
regular
I'm
candles?
a big
Hold on.
candle gal.
So there's a whole bunch of different types of waxes.
Yes.
You got apricot, you got coconut, you got paraffin, you got soy, you got
I just found this out like
beeswax,
6 months
like
ago.
all sorts of stuff. And the most produced candles are made out of paraffin, which is a byproduct of crude oil. I'm not saying anything other than that. That's all I know.
I'm just saying, I
And
don't want to
there's
mention
no
any
benzene or formaldehyde.
names, but basically my entire candle collection had to be,
Yeah.
Okay, so where does Bath and
Yes.
Body Works- Oh, stop it.
yeah, yes. That's my favorite. I always go to the
And we won't
candle
even
sale,
get
and I didn't
started
go
on
this year
this big
because of it.
one.
Well, Bath and
It
Body
crushed
Works,
my dreams.
Yankee, and Victoria's
Yes,
Secret are
that's
all
what I was
about the
about to
same
say.
I wasn't
dude.
gonna throw any names out
He
there.
lives in Ohio.
I had to throw them all out.
Sorry. I mean,
I
it's
know,
a good
they're all
product. It's a good product.
I've always bought them. Like,
smell so good.
I am a
do smell
candle
good.
person.
Yeah.
Like, I love to burn candles, and I stopped burning them because I saw some study like 6 months ago, and it was like, it'll kill your dogs, and I was like, I love my dogs.
Yeah,
So I'm
so-
gonna
See, I don't know how big the effect is
I don't
or what it
either.
does, honestly. Like, that's out of my
I just stopped.
authority
Once I
realm.
read it, I was like, okay.
Okay,
well,
Burn
so-
as many as I do.
I burn endlessly. Like, I always have a candle lit in my house.
Well, and like, here's my thing. Like, I am not a professional. Like, but I feel like I don't need to be a candle professional to say, like, dogs have crazy senses.
Yes.
They are able to, smell things that we will never be able to smell. They have very strong senses. And so I just can't imagine, like, if we are emitting something that has that much artificial fragrance, that it's not doing something. So again, not a scientist. I don't have any background on that, but I feel like common sense
Candle
tells
Chris is like,
me- yeah, like I just feel like common sense tells me, like,
if
to
1 +
be
1 equals
aware.
2, it's probably
Right.
2.
He's good at math. He's good at math.
Yeah, he's
It
already
sounds
told
like you're
us.
good at it too.
That's
That's all we got is math.
She is a mortgage lender, so thank God.
Oh,
She's
thank
good
God.
at math.
It would be
Yeah,
weird if I
yeah.
wasn't that.
Fair enough. But also the phthalates, it actually triggers your brain. So after you burn a candle for a long time with just essential oils, your brain will actually turn the smell receptors off. Phthalates keep those receptors on, and that's been linked to causing some side effects in kids growing up with
Yes.
like brain
The study I
development and
saw
stuff.
was like,
So, yeah, it's intense.
Yeah, it was intense, and I was like, well, I messed up enough already. I,
mean-
don't need this in my life. like burning a
explain so
$5
much.
candle, I can get rid of this thing.
Right. But it does make you more aware of like what you're putting
The little
into your
things,
air.
like, that you don't even pay attention
what you're
to.
Putting, you mentioned like
wild.
the fragrance thing, like this is kind of off topic, but this is my life. Like people talk about like even when you're eating something, like actually like you really are only tasting it for a few seconds. So like you think that like, oh, I'm gorging this meal like because I can taste it, and it tastes good, but really in your brain you can only taste it for a few seconds.
For like the first
So
couple
if you
bites.
eat something, like, so say you're eating a brownie and you take a bite,
Twizzler.
yeah, you're eating a Twizzler, and you take a bite, like you're gonna be able to taste it for a few seconds, and that may linger a little bit, but that mentality, I think, really goes a long way, like when you're eating a lot of sweets, when you wanna eat the whole pan of brownies, because we've all been there, like,
Couple times.
yeah. So anyway, that's my off-topic rant.
Or the whole box of Twizzlers.
I appreciate that.
No, this is where trust issues come from.
That's what I'm saying. I have been, I don't want to say religious, but I've been to almost every Bath and Body Works candle sale for the past 10 years. like, and I have stocked up. Like, I had a whole
a lot of
drawer
money on those
dedicated to
carcinogens.
candles.
Yeah, that whole
Now
candle
they're
day
gifts.
holiday, they started that.
I'm upset.
Great.
Now they're gifts. I've given all of them away.
Right.
Giving away cancer.
So Chris,
No
like,
big deal.
That's their decision if they want to light it.
There's no telling how bad it actually is. I just want that known.
and we
Like-
don't like, and we don't know, like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it could be BS. I could have
don't wanna-
given my whole
I don't
candle
wanna, like,
collection away
destroy
for that.
anybody's livelihood or anything.
But
I'm just
I-
gonna do it my way.
But I love that like you're doing it your way and like you've done all of this research like to put it as that's
And try
that's
to make
huge.
it as clean as possible.
Try-
That's your goal.
try
You're
to.
trying to.
Trying to ethical, clean, as good as possible. There's a market there for it. I don't know. It's just what I want to do.
So
Actually, so at the event, he was telling me there's a particular way to take care of your candles too that I had. I've been doing it
how
wrong.
do you take care of your
I think
So
you're supposed
there
to
is-
clip the wick. or
You
something.
are after
Bef-
after you burn it each time before you light it again. You should clip it because at the top you get a carbon buildup because no wick out there can actually burn perfectly without carbon building up. Because a candle will never be extremely perfect because it does build carbon, which is CO2
Inevitable.
and and then
Yeah.
that's adding to greenhouse gases and all that fun stuff, which is another thing that we actually have donated money to Climeworks, which is a CO2 emissions grabbing company. They were just accredited with like the first company that like actually took CO2 out of the atmosphere, turned it back into a hard matter and put it into the ground. So taking it literally out of the atmosphere. So we're trying to become a carbon negative company, even though the company produces carbon. We want
yeah.
to make it negative, so therefore it's actually helping the environment, even though it
Yes.
produces carbon.
with the cells.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love that. I love that. So
Responsible
smart.
company.
I mean, just trying to be. Like, it's still early stages. I've had like one online sale.
No, but
So-
emphasis
but
on
at
that
least, like,
because
trying to be
yeah.
patient,
it shows how, not that it's easy what you've done, but it shows how easy it could be for large corporations.
yeah,
Right.
to do the right thing.
To do the right
and they're
thing.
I
not.
mean, it's on a small scale.
That's what I'm saying. So if you were able to do it on your scale, how accessible it is for them to do it as well. You know what I mean?
Bath and Body
Hopefully
Works.
the goal.
Suspicious.
Support small
Sorry, I'm
businesses
sorry.
is the
I'm so sorry.
message.
They
from
may be
this.
reaching out.
I'm sued.
So Chris, like where would you like to see this company come to, like in fruition? Like what if you had your dream come to reality? What would that look like?
Wow. Oh.
Yeah, I'm really getting deep here.
Yeah, dream coming to
He's
reality.
like candles
here.
in every country.
I do love that
all over
though.
the world.
All over the world.
Fantastic, bringing light to everybody. I would like to be able to give people their own like company, whether through a distributorship or a franchise, and show people how to do it. Just try to help people have their own little thing that they don't feel like they have. I don't know. I guess I don't know.
I think that's
Actually,
a fantastic answer, Chris.
I'm just going with it. Like I need to fill my time up with something.
You're
Might as
building
well
great
try
stuff.
to. Yeah, literally. I'm just happy to be
I'm just
here.
happy to be here.
happy to have an opportunity. So thank all of you for letting me speak and
Oh
share
no, we're
the bourbon
ecstatic that you
and
came.
stuff.
Maybe a little drunk now that you came.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, but
Not my
like
fault.
I've literally burned this candle and like I have heard less bitching from my boyfriend from any other candle. So
Oh, that's a
I do
plus.
love it, and I'm highly impressed with your work. I'm more impressed with the fact that you're able to put a logo on anything. I feel like that is so accessible for anyone who is in a small business.
Oh, yeah.
Every
makes
little
great
bit
gifts,
helps.
too.
Yeah,
my-
Great
gifts.
closing gifts.
My actual target audience is people with clients and people that want to have like anniversaries or weddings or birthdays, and I can take like your name and stuff and put it on there. And the top is completely for whatever concept that they would want, but at the bottom I have my QR code with the
love
warning
it.
label. So it's marketing for me and marketing for whatever
Yeah.
your venture may be.
Well, and another testament to going green and being mindful of the environment, the planters, aka
That's the word we were trying to.
the candle holder. What do you call that?
The vessel.
The
vessel.
Sounds so
We were
much
like
better.
the holder that it
thing.
sits in,
The cup.
the thing that holds it, that holds
cup.
the
The
wax.
candle cup.
The candle cup. What's it called?
The vessel.
The vessel.
The vessel is recyclable, and you can
Ooh.
put plants in
Yes.
it. You can, throw jewelry in it. It's so cute.
The options
It
are
is.
around.
It's so
Like-
cute.
Yeah. So another
Another plus.
to the
Well, yeah,
candle.
it makes good succulents.
Succulent
Like
That's the one plant
many
I
options.
can't kill.
snacks.
right.
Hold
I
on.
kill all the
Me
rats.
I
either.
killed.
Can you
I've
create
killed
lids?
plenty of succulents.
I actually
I
do
killed a
have
catfish.
lids.
Me too, twice.
It just hasn't really seemed to be a big priority at the moment.
The lids. Yeah. Well, I'm just
But
saying,
I
like
can
long
if
term.
somebody really asked
The
for it.
giant one would be a great cookie jar. I'm just saying.
Ooh,
or like sugar.
sugar.
Sugar. you know,
Sugar.
like-
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Let me some
Moving
sugar.
on. So
Moving on.
if you had to, kind of pick one thing, what would you say is the legacy you want to leave behind with this?
You can.
You can.
You
Okay.
know,
Oh, I
just
love that.
whatever it is,
So cute.
you got it. Just do it. Just be persistent. The difference between persistence and genius is almost indistinguishable. So just wake up in the morning, have that fire in your belly, go after it. You know.
Do
Chris,
it.
that was so insightful.
I like it.
Sorry.
He said, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I mean,
That's the
that's
perfect
what
bow and top.
Yes.
That was perfect.
I love it.
what
I
I'll
love
say.
it.
You can.
You
So
can.
if you had any advice to give to your younger self that is slinging candy bars, what would it be?
Keep your head up.
Keep your head up.
Keep your head up. Just keep
Keep your
going.
nose clean.
Yeah. Facts.
Straight facts.
Yeah, that's straight facts. What? I
I love it. I love it. Okay,
just work
so
on cars all the time.
plug yourself a little bit here.
Yeah, where can we find
Give
you?
all of the info where they can find you.
In Lexington, I'm at CBD Time. I'm in the Julietta Market with Ancient Aromas.
We love them.
I'm in Winchester at the Mercantile on Main, which is like a all local store with all like local produce and all sorts of stuff. I'm in Somerset at I'm drawing a blank on the name. Actually,
He's in Somerset.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
find him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it Swahili or what
It's
is
some
that?
mass market thing that's in Somerset now. That's pretty cool. Just going from place to place.
You all
I'm
have,
in
like, an
about 16
Instagram page?
locations.
Do you have an
now.
Etsy page or
We do have an Etsy, and we
Okay.
do have an Instagram. And
We'll tag
we
'em.
Just now got our production levels to be able to do 500 candles a week.
week?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's at full like production level, and that will be plenty enough to really go after the online audience because I think that the online sphere is the actual target audience, and I'm actually working on setting the workshop up with cameras and all sorts of stuff, and going to start streaming to like show the process and do all sorts of
Oh,
stuff.
that would be
Love
so
that.
fun.
idea.
I would love to see the process. I would love to see how this all comes to fruition.
I feel like we should make a video of us making a candle
Oh
with
my
you.
gosh, can we?
Can we make a candle?
We could, just not today.
Right, I mean, not today, but
I came unprepared. That was
No,
solely
no,
me.
but future, that would be super cool.
Yeah.
Would love to do that.
that'd be really fun.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, so the process for the container, though, the vessel, having the
vessel.
planter,
planter,
all the
cookie jar.
things.
Cookie jar.
Yeah. The process is about a 4 to 5 day process for the container because you have to make the mold and then you got to let it set for a couple hours and then unmold it and then you got to wait a couple days for all the moisture to get out of the container and then you have to seal and varnish the container so that the wax and stuff doesn't seep out of it, and it all takes about 4 or 5 days total, start to finish. But I can do all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
bartenders, we can juggle. you
Yeah,
know.
we're
Yeah.
great
Juggling.
multitaskers. Yeah,
All
great
day.
multitaskers.
Can you actually juggle?
Sometimes.
Sometimes I can
Yeah.
I can juggle like bartending tins. But
I feel like we need a juggling contest now.
you know, I don't think I've ever tried with anything but bartending, like your shakers though. I don't think I've ever like taken balls and like try to juggle. No.
Uh-oh, Lee. It's too light. They're too light.
They're too light.
Yeah,
Those
they're
are
too
too light.
Yeah, they're
Throw
too
'em up
light.
there.
It's
You
not
know
gonna
what,
work. It's not
Kendall
gonna
Chris?
work.
If there's a
The
will,
air,
there's
the
a way.
air. Oh, you can. You can.
Yeah, exactly. Go to 10th though. Go to 10th.
You know, I gave it a shot.
Failure is part of the process.
I'm just
Failure
happy.
is part of the process.
I'm happy you tried.
I gave it my all.
I'm glad she didn't pick up the glass cups that were sitting here. That's what I
That's
was.
what I was
just
thinking
like,
too,
but like
yeah.
you think that it's gonna be
No,
easier. Than
you
it
need some
should
weight.
be.
You need some weight in there.
All right.
All right, maybe Hannah, you're the professional, so maybe you should try it.
I said these wouldn't work.
Yeah. She
We
said they
tried
were
to
too
pre-warn.
light, and
We
they
tried to
were.
pre-warn.
So
That just sounds
I'm not going to try to juggle
down.
anything else on
Hannah
this table.
was right. Hannah and Candle Chris were right.
Well, we didn't know, you know. We assumed,
You
we
tested.
jumped to
We
our
did jump.
assumptions.
We
you
did
know,
jump.
Exactly,
like-
and I
It could work.
confirmed those assumptions.
well, that was the whole scientific
welcome.
method, like in one right there.
All in one little process.
Hypothesis, observed, did it, like here we are.
Candle Chris, I'm so glad that you came on today.
So glad you came.
Thank you so
This
much
was
for
fun.
Thank you
coming
all.
out and for having a discussion with us. And thank you so much for the candle.
Yes.
We really appreciate that. And
We will link all of your Etsy shop, IG, all of that good stuff so you'll know where to find him.
and make those excellent closing gifts, housewarming gifts, anniversary gifts. Candle Chris can do it all. Thank you.
Candle Chris, I love it. You can.
Tool.
So we're gonna play flip
So
cup for the candle.
whoever gets to 3 first wins.
No, you just
No, you
flip it over.
don't. Whoever gets to 3 turns first wins.
3 turns first. wins.
Like 3 good ones. And
Okay,
Tim,
all right.
you're our witness. So when you do one, you got to
You gotta
put a
pay
finger
attention.
up.
Okay.
When you do it, put a finger and be like, I got 1, I got 2, I got 3.
So are we one-handed?
Yes,
All right,
one-handed.
One-handed.
One-handed, and then you count on the
And
other
then you
hand.
count on your hands. Okay,
You ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Go.
Lee has one. Everybody has one.
I got 2, Tim!
Oh, okay.
You got 3?
Did you get 3? That was way too fast.
I did it because I'm a flip cup champion. Shout out EKU.
Are you falling behind on your taxes? Do you dread sorting through receipts? Are you confident your business is fully compliant? Does the thought of sitting down and doing taxes make you anxious? If so, let us help you get a leg up on your records and finances. We can be reached at 859-576-0527 or submit@leguppro.com. Reach out today and let LegUp be your one-stop shop for all your accounting needs.